8 days away, and it's kind of, when you're 20 days out, 18 days out, kind of seems so far away, but now 8 days away, and just see our guys kind of being more and more locked in and more attention to detail and focused in every single day. We obviously started back to practice yesterday, and on day 2 of really preparing for NC State. Last week was more just about staying in sharp, staying in good shape, all those kind of things, a lot of good stuff, situational football, as well as getting some of the younger guys some reps as well. This week has been back to NC State, and was really proud of our guys. Yesterday, just kind of, there was no, you take several days off there. There was no like, hey, we haven't done this in a while. They got right back at it, went right back to work, and I thought that was really good. We got to continue to move around pretty good. Going to go at it tomorrow. Today was more of we call it normal down practice, normal down day, more of a Tuesday type practice, focus on the big bulk of things. Tomorrow will be a little bit more situational football, focus on third downs, red zone, some of that stuff. We'll repeat that first of the week as the week goes on. But trying to get our bulk of the work done before we go to D.C. Told the guys, you got more time right now, let's invest it. And talked to them, a few guys, about what investing was. And if you go to the bank and invest in your money, what you expect in returns if you put your money in the bank and get a percentage back there. But we talked about, spend the time now. Spend the time now that you have the extra time of spending, on the game plan, studying extra film today, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday morning. That when we get to D.C., we can enjoy the bowl experience up there. The different Monument Mall and different Capitol building tour, different things like that, and enjoy each other, and Christmas Day as well, and then make some final preparations for the game up there. So that's kind of where we're at today, but looking forward to it. Kind of, 8 days out, it's starting to feel more like game week now.
How do you find the balance of, trying to get back in game mode, but maybe not beat them up too much after a long layoff going into the game, like the physicality of football?
I watched several guys out there look like they're as fresh as they've been since preseason. I watched Jordan Huff run around, and all of a sudden, it's like that's the Jordan Huff of old right there, moving around, making plays, and doing some good things. So there's a fine line. You got to balance it. Obviously, you don't want to go out there and go full contact to the ground, but you want to make sure we're moving around. Then we started out yesterday in shorts, went shells today. We'll be in full pads tomorrow, kind of building up to it, and start backing off first of the week again. So we got to make sure we're in game. Speed, game shape, and ready to go play a football game. But at the same time, you got to make sure we're staying healthy and we don't lose anybody before next Saturday.
Obviously, I think this is one of the first times we've talked to you since bringing in Coach Aldridge as defensive coordinator. How did you kind of find him, and what did you like about him that led you to make him part of your staff?
Yeah, our defensive coordinator search was, knew a bunch of guys. Obviously, as a defensive coach, guys you visit with over the years, you have a lot of respect for and go talk ball with. So knew a lot of guys out there, and reached out to several guys, or several guys reached out to me, interested in the job. And there's no shortage of that. My phone doesn't stop ringing or getting texts or blowing up every day. It seems like every time I check it, I got 2 dozen more texts or calls I've missed. And I always try to get back to everybody one way or the other. But Coach Aldridge, known him for 10 years plus, and just when he was at West Georgia, every place he's been successful. Always thought he does a heck of a job on the road recruiting, and just a continuous grinder there. So I knew he would help us bring talent to Greenville and to Pirate Nation. And then the job he did at Liberty as a defensive coordinator when he was there, even through the stint when they went to a bowl game. He was the interim head coach for the bowl game, and just did a really good job there. I think they beat BYU there that year. He was the DC. Beat Arkansas that year. He was the DC there. And then being at SEC for the last 2 years, working under Coach Ron Roberts and DJ Durkin. So he's been under some experienced coaches, Scott Simons. And then also just the personality and what he's going to bring to us in recruiting, I think really fits our staff, it fits our players, and I'm really excited about him being here.
Coach, we saw him out there obviously today. How involved has he been, and will he be leading up to the bowl today?
Yeah, he's making sure that the old defensive coordinator stays straight right now, so he's telling him how to do it. But it's more about this week and next week is for him. It's more about getting to know our players, fitting in with our staff, and making sure he's ready to ride there. and kind of getting some personalities there. He's obviously in all our meetings, and he's got some input there as how we're doing things or things he sees and sees it from a different light. And that's really what, when I look for staff to add to us, who can help us grow, not who's exactly like me or thinks exactly like me or some of our staff members, but who can help us think outside the box and help us grow. So he's given us suggestions of that now, but more so just kind of getting to know our players and he's looking more at 2025, where I'm looking more at 8 days from now. And you got to have the big picture. I've got to have the big picture too of all that. But his mindset's on 2025, which is awesome. Where my mindset is on 2025, but also in 8 days in NC State.
What's the main duty or most important things the new general manager will be responsible for?
Yeah, we hired Noah Joseph as our general manager. He spent 2 years in the same role in the Big Ten at Purdue, and before that, he was more on the field coaching. So he's had both sides of it. He's seen it from an administration, big picture, 1,000-foot view, and he's seen it as a coach as well. So excited about him, excited about the experience he's going to bring, and the fact that he's done the job before. As we sat and talked and just went through this thing together, he told me some unique things they have done and unique ways he sees it. And I think, he was up there helping a first-time head coach, and he's going to be able to help me as a first-time head coach. And he'll take some on some of the duties as chief of staff, making sure our recruiting department's running the way it needs to run. He'll work closely with those guys as well as other off-the-field staff. So he's going to help me deal with those things. And then some of the things he'll do with is the NIL piece, helping our players find more NIL opportunities and help that with attracting players here and retention of players here. So takes that off my plate and puts it on his a little bit, and he's had that experience, so super excited about that and moving forward with that.
Coach, you got a lot going on, but you're still over there coaching the linebackers, and obviously I'm assuming you're going to call this game, so what's that like for you, final time calling it as you move on to head coach?
As long as we shut them out, it'd be a good time. No, it's, I enjoy getting out there coaching and still coaching the linebackers and running around and chasing guys around and calling the defense. It's kind of, what I've done. But I also know that I got to see it from a bigger picture and do a lot going on. We've had portal recruits in all week. Been dealing with, roster management for the last 2 weeks and getting ready for 2025, as well as adding staff pieces to our staff. Added 3 or 4 new folks to our staff. I think it'd be great additions, as well as got 3 or 4 more to go. So looking forward to that and just adding that piece and keep building that piece for the future. And excited about that piece for Pirate Nation, but still, locked in on next Saturday. To me, I want to see our guys go out there and compete and give ourselves a chance to win a ball game. And, for these seniors, go send those guys out the right way. So I want to make sure I do my part and making sure we're successful there.
Seems like since their starter went down, Bailey kid's come in. He's gotten better each week. What have you seen on film?
Yeah, he's a really good player. Doesn't play like a freshman to me. Makes really good throws down the field. Has a really good arm. And then if he takes off scrambling or if the quarterback design run game, he's a long strider. I mean, he can eat up some ground. Nobody ever catches him. I think just really good. And I think the future is bright for NC State and the Wolfpack there with him at quarterback. Unfortunately, we got to see him back-to-back games, so we'll get a pretty good feel for him. But he's just done a good job operating that offense, and they do a good job building that offense around him.
Yeah, their tight end, Joe Lee, seems like a matchup problem. So how do you
Yeah, the transfer from UConn, number 15, the tight end. He's been a really good player. Their leading receiver, that's currently on the roster, or currently who we expect to be on the roster in the bowl game. We got to make sure we got eyes on him. You can't, sometimes you treat the tight ends like they're just another blocker in the backfield or, help protect for the passer. But this guy's certainly one that can get out in space, work you down the field, and really good hands. And then once he catches the football, can go put it in the box too. So a weapon. And, I look at all their receivers and I just think they're long, they can run, really good hands, good out in space. So certainly got our hands full there.
Obviously, you're down a couple of guys on both sides of the ball just since the Navy game going into state. I mean, how do you feel like you've seen kind of guys step up in practice as you move forward?
Man, our players are awesome. Our young men are awesome. Our seniors are fantastic. And just the way, they don't let anything faze them. They don't let, this happen or that happen or whatever. Control what we control, right? And that's what we talk about every single day. And it's always next man up. Always has been here and always will continue to be. And our seniors, they're excited about the opportunity, so don't let any one little thing bump in the road phase them. And they're excited about the guys that are in our locker room, the guys that are in our room, and practicing with each day to go attack and go play one more time with those guys. And I've said this before a million times, the NFL doesn't have free agency during the postseason. Not sure why we do, but it is what it is. We'll deal with it, and we'll move forward, and we'll make the best of every situation, and we'll go attack it the way we should. We're not going to make excuses, and I'm sure Coach up there isn't either. And we're going to go play the game and do it the way it should be played.
As somebody calling the defense of the Pirates, have you tried to pick Anthony Smith's brain about his last time there?
I'm just excited for Anthony. Anthony's excited to go play. He's had an awesome year. 30-something catches and a bunch of yards. And I think he's a guy that in the future can be a 1,000-yard guy for us. I really do. And fired up for him. And we just talk more about the opportunity for him than anything. But he tries to fill you in on gives us some tips on some things we should be doing or shouldn't be doing. So and you always get that from guys, and they're going up against a former team.
This senior class, obviously we talk about it a lot, but will be the last time you guys as a group do this together. So do you try to take some time to soak that in and go?
Yeah, it's special, and it'll probably hit you more once you get up there, more than so right now in practice. But Big Tay, Eli, Raj, Ergel, Chad, all those guys, 5th, 6th-year guys that going through it the last time, 21 guys that are going to play their last ball game for the Pirates next Saturday. And they put a lot into this program. And, I think I mentioned this before the break, and Tay said it, like, how many guys will we see stay with be loyal to one program for 5, 6 years, and the 6th year, obviously, for Chad and Ergel because of the COVID. But I don't know if that's going to be the future of college football right now, unless we start adding some contracts and stuff in there. But just so proud of these young men and what they've done for East Carolina, what they've done for this football program, and we need to go finish this thing off the right way for them.
Is it kind of full circle for you as you move into this next phase of your career? These guys came in here with you. They're about to move on. You're about to.
Yeah. So I accepted the job in January 24th of 2020. I just happened to see that on a timeline somewhere the other day. And so those guys got in here like 2 weeks before I did and started classes. And so we've kind of grown up together, so to speak, and grown through this thing together and went through the ups and downs and the tough times and made the most of them. And just really proud of the way they've attacked this thing to end the season. And it probably will, probably really hit me in the end of next week, kind of get closer to game day. And super proud of those guys, super happy for them. Fortunately for me, I get to keep moving on and worry about next year in 2025. But they're going to mean so much to our program.
Coach, as you enjoy that time with them off the field, DC, Annapolis, is there certain events leading up to the game you're most looking forward to?
I think Christmas Day and spending it with our family, which is our football program and our football team, and just some things we got planned that day. Not necessarily obviously the Monument Mall and all the things you get to see in D.C. and all the history there, and what that means to our country is special. But I think it's just being with family, and I think that's it for anybody on Christmas Day. And our family is our football program, and everybody that's on our trip, whether it's our own family, my own wife and kids, or our football players, and we just want to make that a special day and a special morning for everybody.
You ever watch the Peach Bowl or seen highlights of the win over NC State and show that to the team maybe?
Speaking of 2020, when we first came in and we had that time during COVID, we obviously all had some downtime. I remember searching through YouTube with just past games to check out, and that game did pop up and saw some highlights from it, and that was a special moment for that team and that program at the time, and this could be a special moment for this team and this program next Saturday.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Coach, what's it been like just recruiting the portal and trying to retain guys in this bowl prep? I guess it's starting to get a little more real now.
It is. Today was really the first time that I felt like we could focus on the bowl game fully. It's just chaos right now, and it is what it is. It's us and 132 other college football teams are going through it, but it's a lot. It's trying to juggle it all, and because everything's important. You know what I mean? Like the bowl game is such an important game for us, for a program, and where we're going and where we're heading. But also, you can't pass up these couple weeks that we have here in December, because really these 2 weeks, what you do in these 2 weeks, kind of it is what you're going to be in 2025. And so there's a huge importance on both fronts as far as getting ready for the bowl game and for trying to get the right pieces added to the room.
What have you seen from NC State on tape, and then you don't know what to do play ball?
Yeah, it's obviously been through that once this season already with the different DC calling it from what you are watching on tape. They just cause a lot of issues. There's not a lot of just favorable looks as you go through the tape. They do a really good job of just creating negative plays all over the field, whether it's through pressure, through different coverages. They've done a good job, and they've been good there on defense for a long time. And so, it's a credit to Coach Dorn and those guys, and just and Coach Gibson, what they've established there. And so it's a huge challenge for us, and we've got to just find different ways to attack it, and find different ways to kind of put ourselves in a good position to go have success. But it's good players with a really unique and difficult scheme.
It's the last time we talked to you, Coach Aldridge came in. You're going to have some practices where you guys are going back and forth, both SEC guys. I mean, what has it been like kind of getting to know him?
He hit the ground running, and that's what you want. He understands the most important thing for him right now, obviously coming in and not knowing the scheme that's been going on here. He understands the most important thing for him is go find players and get players to fill holes on that side of the ball. And I don't think I've walked by him one time he hadn't been on the phone talking to somebody or texting somebody. So he's hit the ground running. He'll be a great addition to the staff, and he understands, the name of the game. Our players, they make us better coaches, and so the better players he can get, the better we'll be on defense next year.
What type of feedback have y'all gotten from the portal thus far, just with second-year offensive staff now, kind of show what y'all done on tape and everything?
Yeah, absolutely. It makes a world of difference. Last year we were kind of trying to sell a dream and sell, this is what we want to be, this is who we think we can be. But having the ability to sit down and watch the tape and show people this is who we are, and this is who we want to be, and who we want to continue to be. And guys are excited. And when they sit down and they watch the tape, when they get here, they get in Greenville, they get around the university, it only helps. It only helps our cause, because when you can pair together, what we still think is a unique offensive scheme that guys want to play in, it's fun. And then you add in the university, the town of Greenville. It's a really easy sell.
I know you're down, obviously, a couple guys at receiver, but how have you been impressed with some of the next man up, guys that have been stepping up in practice?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've faced it throughout the year with whether it be injuries or whatnot. And so we got total faith in those guys. And whoever it is in this game, it'll be somebody that we least expect that'll step up and make a huge play in this game. But that's where just countless reps, whether it's been the last couple of weeks or all through the summer, all through fall camp and the season. But somebody in this game will step up. It'll be interesting to see who it is.
Obviously, you want to win them all, still want to win the bowl game. But is there kind of a relief of pressure because you do know, hey, at the end of the day, it's not a conference game. You don't know, like you said, somebody's going to step up and make a play that maybe even the fans don't know. Are you more free flowing in a bowl game?
A little bit, and in this deal, it's just with the change for them, coordinator wise, and I don't know what the heck we're going to see. And so, will it look like what it's looked on tape? Will it look different? I don't know. But that's why, we were able to have success. That's what happened at North Texas. Didn't really know when we get there. Went out and got something totally different. They're the first few drives and just adjusted to it. And that's what is the beauty of what we do is, we keep it fairly simple. That way we can adjust to things and get to different things in a game. And so, there's not going to be a ton of pressure. I know that. We're going to go in there and swing. And you can say a lot of things about us, but we never play scared. I promise that. And we're not going to play scared versus these guys. We're going to go do our stuff and try and execute at a high level.
Coach, when it comes to the portal, Blake just talked a little bit about the potential for free agency in college. Just wondering what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah, it's a and you every coach that gets in front of a mic right now is saying it, and I'll echo those sentiments. It's a bad setup right now. It's a bad system. It doesn't. I don't know who it benefits. It doesn't benefit the players. It doesn't benefit our team. Any college team right now that's trying to prepare for a bowl game, and they got teammates that are leaving right now. It's hard to imagine, an NFL team getting ready for a first-round playoff game, and all of a sudden their starting Mike linebacker walks out the door and says, "Hey, I'm not playing in it." Like that's the reality of what we're looking at, and so it's an interesting deal, and there's a lot of issues with it, and I hope at some point we can figure out some answers to figure out a better way to do it, because I remember. It wasn't that long ago, 5-6 years ago, bowl games were a huge deal, and they still are, but it's gotten different. It's just a different feel because, the guys that you just spent the last year working out with, practicing, all those things, now you look to your left and right and they're not there, and you're about to go play what you feel like is an important big football game. And so, I don't have all the answers. I can tell you all the issues with it, but I don't have all the answers. But I know there's got to be some change that we can get some stability and put an importance back into these games. And trust me, there's importance in this one, but it's just like I said, it's just different.
As a Texas guy and first year at ECU, what have you learned about ECU, NC State, the history of it in the game right now?
I know this. I know the Pirates don't like the Wolfpack. I know that much. So it's anywhere. It don't matter what state you're in. It's a in-state rivalry, and it doesn't matter. They play in the ACC, we play in the American. It don't matter. They're an hour and a half down the road, and so it becomes a rivalry because you got so many guys on both teams that probably played each other in high school. They're North Carolina kids that played against each other growing up, and we probably got some guys on our team that. Wanted to go to NC State out of high school and didn't have that opportunity, and they came here, and vice versa. So, anytime you're that close in proximity with somebody, there's going to be a natural rivalry. And so, I'm excited to play in it. Just the buzz around town, as soon as it got announced, just being around people at different events and hearing people talk, it's an important game for our fan base and for Pirate Nation, and we understand that. And shoot, I'm excited. I've told our guys, like, you don't get many opportunities like this. We got to go take advantage of it.
Anything else? Thank you, Coach.
I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.